Hey guys, it's me, Chelsea, again. Today I just wanted to discuss a little bit about a recent court ruling that just took place on April 15th that declared the National Day of Prayer to be unconstitutional. Basically what happened is one judge just decided that it was unconstitutional, basically, and from here on out there won't be a National Day of Prayer, or the government does not have to declare a National Day of Prayer. But this year it will go on as usual, but we're not sure about the next year, so that could be all about to change. But fortunately, the Obama administration is going to appeal that court decision, so hopefully it gets turned around. But anyway, I know most of you guys have heard about the court ruling. I know a lot of my friends have been talking about it, and it's been all over the internet. But I just wanted to share some of my thoughts with you and see what you had to say about them. Obviously, I disagree with this. I don't think it has a constitutional basis, and I just personally disagree with it. But anyway, our nation, I've done a lot of research here in the last couple of days after this ruling, and I found out that our nation, even before it was founded as the nation of America, has so much prayer in its history, and I just wanted to share with you guys a little bit of info about that, just so in case you didn't know, that way you'd have a little bit of history. In 1775, the Continental Congress asked people to pray for wisdom and how to form the nation of America. So even before we became Americans, our government was calling for prayer, and they realized way back then even how important prayer was. In 1863, President Lincoln proclaimed a day of prayer and fasting, which is really great. I mean, Lincoln, in my opinion, was a president that understood the power of prayer and the importance of having God as a part of America's government. And in 1952 is when Congress ultimately passed the law declaring the National Day of Prayer, and after it was signed by President Truman. And since 1988, the National Day of Prayer has been held on the first Thursday in May. But in this court ruling, that might all be about to change. But like I said, the Obama administration is planning to appeal the decision, so hopefully that gets turned around. Now, I'd like to discuss some of the justification reasoning for people that say that we shouldn't have a National Day of Prayer. Usually the first thing that they say to defend removing the National Day of Prayer is the idea of the separation of church and state, which, for those of you that don't know, the words separation of church and state don't appear even once in the Constitution, so it kind of makes me wonder how they can say that that's constitutional if it doesn't even appear once in the Constitution. The First Amendment, however, states that Congress shall make no law respecting an establishment of religion or prohibiting the free exercise thereof. And in my opinion, I don't think that Congress or the President declaring a National Day of Prayer for Americans constitutes the government establishing a national or a state religion. America, we live in a free democracy, not a communist nation or a dictatorship. So it's not like we're being forced to all become Christians or forced to worship the president or anything. Like in China and different nations of the world, they are literally forced to worship their leader and conform to the national religion, especially in Muslim nations, but I won't get into that right now. Now, dealing with the second part of the First Amendment, or the second little segment there, prohibiting the free exercise thereof. Now, I do think that telling citizens that they can't set a National Day of Prayer, it seems to me like that's hindering the free exercise of religion, telling citizens they can't pray in public. And this has happened in a lot of other ways, too. Authorities trying to hinder free religious expression, like, for example, in public schools, especially like middle school and high schools, I've heard several reports of teachers literally taking the students' Bibles away from them and throwing them away, or telling them that they can't wear certain Christian t-shirts to school, or talk about God at school, or witness to their friends at school. And to me, that's a violation of the First Amendment, but unfortunately, the government seems to overlook that part. So, in my opinion, the National Day of Prayer is totally constitutional. And I think roughly at least 2/3 of Americans agree. I'm not for sure what the percentage of Christians is. I know it's over half the country claims to be Christian. But I think no matter what religion people are, they can see and they agree with the idea of the free exercise of religion, no matter what religion it might be. I think there's several reasons why the National Day of Prayer is being attacked the way it is. The lawsuit started in 2008, but the attack on basically any religion at all, especially Christians, has been going on for years and decades in America. So it's really nothing new, but it seems like in the last 10 years probably it's gotten worse and worse. The lawsuit was started by a group called the Freedom From Religion Foundation. They're a small group, but very vocal. I mean, they have obviously atheists and anti-religious people supporting them. And unfortunately, they also have a lot of the media and the liberal judges on their side, and a lot of the government. I'm not trying to come down on atheists. I do pray for them, and I have a heart for people to be saved. But we can't allow them to keep taking our freedoms away from us. And what I think is kind of ironic is atheists and a lot of liberal people try to say that Christians are trying to steal their freedom, steal their way of life, the freedom to live how they want to. And I don't think that's our heart at all. We just want, we want God to be respected in America. We want our heritage, our history, not to be rewritten. We want the freedom too, and that's why I don't really agree with the notion that we're trying to take away their freedom. In my opinion, it's kind of twisted because that's exactly what they're trying to do by removing the National Day of Prayer. But anyway, that's just my thoughts on the whole court case. And now I just really want to hear yours. If you think you have a good, legitimate reason why there should not be a National Day of Prayer, or that government leaders shouldn't be involved in it, I'd really like to hear what it is. I do want to get some discussion started. I'd really like to hear some of your thoughts. So whether you agree or disagree with me, leave me a comment or video response, whatever you want, and we'll start some discussion. Thank you for watching, and I will talk to you later. Bye.